Hey guys, Steven here, and here with my student Rehan, who managed to top the Niagara Regionals, going 7-1 with Maliss Bystial, and he's here to show us the deck list.
Yeah, hi everyone. First time on this channel, glad to be here. Thank you, Steve. Playing Maliss Bystial. This is something I picked up relatively recently. I used to play Pure Striker, like Santoli, but I realized I was not good enough for it, and so I picked up this. Very overall standard list. Playing max names. I was initially not playing max names. I did some test hands. I was bricking, play max names. So you're playing all these ways to get to your engine plus a gold spark. And then you're also playing the honor name Dotscaper. This is very standard, just playing engine. So nothing spicy over here. Obviously the 3 traps, the 3 allures.
Do you think you can cut back on the allures at all?
I think allures are mandatory. Like a lot of times people like hold Lancia for some reason, post side. And so my first action is always allure because like for example, I played Triff round 1 and he held his Lancia for some reason. I'm assuming like, you know, he wanted to get value out of it by making me commit to a card first. So I went allure first and he Lancia, but I still got the draw 2 anyways. And like it just really helps to push through stuff and to play going second into Rizio boards as well. Because once you stop like the duo from resolving, you do need an auto detonator, and so this is just good to like, you know, get into more engine, to extend, to get into like special summon effects as well, to just more Maliss buddies on the board. That was one of the first things I realized when I picked up this deck, is that when people were cutting allure, I think this card's like uncuttable. Like this has to be played at 3. Everything else was pretty standard, I feel. So now playing the striker package, I actually just opted to go with the Bystial package. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was initially not playing Baldrake, but then I talked to Steve and I talked to like other person I built this deck with, Matt. And you obviously do need something to add off of Mag going first because Druis isn't that valuable. So I just added this card in and went up to 41. And it was decent. Like it wasn't something extraordinary, and it wasn't like I missed it initially, but it's just good to have. And obviously having these 5 names is good to stop the sequence, or sorry, the Requiem, when it attempts to like go back and attach. And it's just good value overall because these cards also just help you play infinite more. Because if you start like normal summon Dormouse or normal summon White Rabbit and they hand trap it, they now need 2 additional hand traps to actually stop your combo when you open one of these, because you go into the link 1 and then you banish this, which comes back, and then you have 3 bodies in the field that can go into the red ransom, and then the decoder comes back. So if they stop the red ransom, you can go SP, red ransom, banish, and then just continue playing. And it just helps you play through a lot of more hand traps than the striker package, I felt, while also providing some more offensive value for the Fiendsmith meta. And I think this is why this deck is really positioned really well, is because when you have infinite Fiendsmith in the format, this deck, while not caring much for Bystials itself, and being able to like synergize with Bystials to this extent, I think it just is positioned really well for success in the format. And obviously the Rehan as well. This card's a cheat card in the Maliss Mirror. If you're able to set this card up, then anytime they banish a monster, they go, you know, effect, pay 300, and you just put it back and you draw a card. And I think that's really good. Yeah, and then the other thing was I also just kept making SP turn 1 early to sort of mitigate the impact of Nibiru. And then as soon as I had this up, I would banish it with the White Binder and put it back with Regained and be able to have an SP on my end board as well. So I thought that was that utility was nice. For the rest of it, I'm just playing Ash, Nib, Tufua, 3 of these, and the Eclipse. Something that I realized was a lot of people are disrespecting Duo Drive now, and the issue is like even, for example, if you have a Druis, your Druis won't do anything if they're able to get to cross. So I still wanted to have cards that were able to punish the Duo Drive, or sorry, punish extension past Duo Drive. I'm mixing up words. Stop Duo Drive actually, which were these. Initially I was playing 3 Book of Eclipse. This card was okay, but I really wanted to have the Bystials as well, while not going to 42 to ruin post-side math. And so I just kept these to 2, cut 1, because it's fine. You can draw into these with allures, you can draw this as your 6th card, and that's essentially what you want this for. Imperm for Duo Drive and for Detonator going second, Ash for Fuas and to stop Duo Drive. These cards are, or sorry, at least these were something that I didn't want to draw going first as much because this deck draws a lot. But I still wanted to have these in the list. I didn't want to commit to the side because this deck isn't fantastic going second. So I wanted these in my list. I played 2, and then the 2 Nib because this combined with the Bystial is really strong against the Fiendsman Frizzle deck. I know it seems kind of sus to us, but it worked out. Like, it doesn't really matter because the math is really negligible in terms of if you play 2 or 3 ups. But it's just nice to have these cards in your list because you do draw a lot. So you do want some diversity of interruptions from the hand as well.
If they're watching Santoli's channel, they're used to 2 ups.
Okay. Okay, so I can just go into the extra deck. Extra deck is relatively standard. So 3, 2 links. I'm not playing Link Spider. Just didn't feel like it was coming up in testing, and honestly just never missed it. I feel like Link Spider is much more necessary for the Striker Maliss deck. So I just cut it. Didn't really come up. It's fine. SP Lizardos Splash Mage is what people are usually used to. By not playing the Terahertz package, which this deck was never going for Terahertz, it was either going for Firewall Pass with card set and stuff engraved, or Cryptor Pass, or SP Griffin, things like that. By removing the Terahertz package, you just have so much more utility, which improves your game going second and being able to play through interrupts. So for example, Dark, people are becoming a lot more familiar with this now. It's good in the mirror match. If you have, for example, like 2 Bystials or something like that, you can still make Dark, Crash, Search a Body, which is also nice. I know that the Striker deck uses it like that as well. But overall, I think Dark is a really underrepresented card in the Maliss list that I find. And I think this card just has to be there. Nightmare Cerberus, it's a regional, people play Chaos Hunter, so Nightmare Cerberus is for that. It could either be Nightmare Cerberus or Phoenix. I found Nightmare Cerberus to be good just in case someone plays Chaos Hunter, that it's there. So these are the link 2s. Then Firewall, Griffin, Access Code. In the mirror match, the banishes aren't great, so I go Griffin SP, and then just reset my GWC. So that was good. I also just play Firewall Pass as well because when your White Binder comes back, it's co-linked, and then you can just bounce something. Or if you're playing against Fiendsmith, you just add back the Magnamuts while also searching an end phase. So that was good. And obviously this is applying pressure for damage going second. Typhon, I thought this was really good when you get Lancea against like pure Ryziel or a Ryziel Fiendsmith deck that is cut out of Fiendsmith engine because of your Bystials. This is really good to establish some control or pressure in the game. And then I played Slayer, so I just wanted to play Aggregator. Pretty standard extra deck, I feel.
You never wished you had a bigger end board through the form of Terahertz?
No, I felt like as soon as White Binder resolves, it doesn't really matter because when White Binder resolves, you are guaranteed 1 banish on the opponent's turn anyways. You're drawing all these cards. So I do play a variety of interrupts as well, or non-engine. So I find that Terahertz wasn't necessary, and then Terahertz, when it puts the Disab Worm engraved, just gives Bystials value when they really shouldn't be. Especially when you have decks like Bystial Maliss or Bystial Ryziel Fiendsmith picking up in popularity. There's just no reason to give those cards value where they really shouldn't be. So I didn't miss it, and I really appreciated the utility of the Link 2s and such going second. This is a proxy for the 3rd Fua that I had to return. I decided in going second into Ryziel Fiendsmith, not pure Ryziel, but Ryziel Fiendsmith because they start with ice, so it's a lot more punishing, and just the Maliss Mirror. 3 Lancea for the Maliss Mirror, 3 Impulse for the Maliss Mirror as well, and then play 3 Slayer against Fiendsmith Ryziel and pure Ryziel, Duster because people love solemn cards.
Not me.
No, not you at all. So I play these against both the Ryziel Fiendsmith matchups, and then cross out, call by. So initially, I know people play like Thrust and stuff, and you want to skip your opponent's turn, but it's like, why are we skipping your opponent's turn and then opening up the possibility that, for example, if you're going Sanctum Lancea, that they have like Ash or they have like call by and cross out for your Lancea, or if they're going like D-Barrier, that doesn't really affect the Fiendsmith Ryziel deck. So when you look at it, the only card that really matters is Lancea, so why are we just not negating the Lancea? And I thought this card was really good. Stop Lanceas, stop Nibiru's, and I think this I think was probably the best part of the deck. So I think the math on this is actually pretty good too. It's like a 25% chance going first that you draw into one of these, and not draw the Lancea as well. So I think the math was actually pretty decent. And you also play this into the mirror match as well because it stops like MTP, GWC, things like that otherwise they would have gotten value. So I think that just makes sure you put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into the mirror match, and I think that just makes it better for you going second as well. yeah, so that's my Bystial Maliss list. Got second with it. Shout outs to the man behind the camera, Santa Toli. Shout out to Matt, and shout out to Consul Rabina.
All right, thanks.